Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit,
And I'm Kel.
and we are here with our recap of the Stage 3 playoffs. So, before we dive into today's match, a couple things happened, well, actually, one thing that happened today, non-related to the matches, we're going to talk about it for just a second, then we're going to dive into the playoffs, because we want to talk about the matches. There was a lot that went on. It was insane for...
Yes.
The 3 days that it went on. Everything I picked went absolutely fucking to shit. So, yeah. What did I think? I believe I said I think San Francisco is not what they were, and they look like hot garbage half the year. And
I mean,
yeah,
it's in regards to San Francisco. We'll definitely talk more about them, but in regards to that, like, there's times where they look like they're their normal dominant selves, and then other times where they just are horrible.
Yeah. Well, it's because they don't know what's going on.
Terrible.
They're not used to some of the meta stuff. But anyway, today, so they kind of teased this for about, like I would say not even 30 seconds. On the broadcast today, like here and there, they kind of mentioned. So I think it's Thursday. Oh,
yes.
That just happens to be an update day for regular game too.
We're
gonna have a special.
I think the update would probably be on Tuesday. Usually, it's either Tuesday or Thursday. But
right.
Yeah.
Well, after they're going to be doing a special watch point, telling us what's in store for Stage 4.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that yet this year. They used to run that watch. I actually liked that watch point they did last year. Apparently, I was one of 4 people that did, because they changed it. But yeah, so assuming that we're having this big discussion for 20 minutes, I doubt they're going to be talking about the map pool for that long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. 3-3 lock announcement. Trenchfoot. Yes, exactly. No
more DPS. It's just going to be all the 12 or the 12 tanks and healers. That's all you can choose.
Yeah, we want Western players to have a chance.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
God.
Just as long as we can. Oh, that would mean they would remove Sombra. Did Super come up with this meta?
Yeah, right. Oh God.
Anyway.
So yeah, that'll be interesting. The only other thing is right before the playoffs, there was an announcement from Washington welcoming Elivote and Lulsish to their team. So that's a new tank and
off tank? I don't know.
off tank.
Do not know. I saw it briefly. I was too busy. This is gonna sound weird. My whole life, the last 2 days, has been filled with rodents, and I'm trying to remove them from my life. Because in the home I live in, I have a dog and 2 cats, and they just don't seem to understand that kill the fucking rodent it should work. And the ones in my garden, which are also destroying things, and there's a cat that sits out there all day and just watches shit get torn apart.
It looks like Elivote is mostly a off tank player, and Lulsish is
Main tank?
Yeah, it looks like he's a main tank, so
yeah, okay.
That's what they needed.
Yeah, well, and like you said, Trenchfoot, I guess Janice and Sam, son of Sam, whatever his name is, are going back to wherever they came from, and yeah.
Yeah.
The Janice experiment seems like it's on its last leg. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Even the
Honestly,
wizard.
I mean, like even with wizard, like you can only coach a guy so much. So, like, if he doesn't have the talent, he doesn't have the talent.
All right, can I throw this out there? That maybe it was more bare hands than wizard. And well, he wasn't the head coach there. I don't think wizard, but I mean bare hands basically picked the team.
Yeah.
You can't teach that mechanical skill that team has.
Yeah, definitely not.
We'll get it. We're going to talk about them very shortly, though.
Yeah.
That team. Indianapolis Excelsior. Get your Peyton Manning jerseys now.
All right, so first we're going to dive into to Thursday. It started off with a complete and utter stomp of Vancouver over Houston, which I think everybody expected.
And that was where Stitch was like insane. I was like,
Yeah.
where did this come from? I knew he was decent, but they just went fucking ham on Houston. I mean,
They
yeah,
really did.
I thought Houston had a shot, though. I really thought they could give him some trouble, but it seemed like Vancouver was just ready. They were ready
Yeah.
for that bullshit. And I think Houston's got a little bit of stuff to work on.
Yeah.
They look better.
Just
they
a
did
little.
well. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, good for Houston. They made the playoffs.
yeah. I didn't
like-
think they were ever going to make it there. So,
Yeah.
I mean...
Not with the way that this season started. I had it looked like, and the moves that they were making, or the lack of moves that they were making, it just seemed like they were just going to be bottom dwellers for the rest of the season, and then it was just going to have to be blow it up for next season. But honestly, this might actually be worse for them, because now they see like, oh, well, we've got some hope. So they might just stick themselves right in that middle of the pack. Like, yeah, it's like being like a consistent 7 or 8 seed in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you did that, but you're just gonna get bounced in the first round every time anyway.
Yeah.
So
Knick
what
fans
are you
know what
really
that is.
accomplishing? Yeah.
Well, some years.
Not recently.
I said some years.
Yeah, it's been about 6 years since even that happened for them.
But they usually get in a 7 or an 8. Maybe a 6 if they have a good year. Yeah.
It's more the Pistons right now that are stuck in that. But yeah, like that's just kind of how I see them, and Vancouver just completely stomped them.
Well, and people forget that Vancouver can play DPS. I mean,
right.
They're still good. I mean, they're good at the 3-3, but Stitch showed he can play Sombra, and when they were playing DPS comps, they were doing really well. I mean, they stomped Houston. But there's really not much to talk about that other than Stitch. I wouldn't say he owned Dante though. I just think they outplayed Houston because a lot of people there's that narrative going around like like the 1v1. I don't think he owned Dante as much as they owned Houston. Yeah. And a lot of it was Stitch's play and key hacks and this and that, but
it was just like he wasn't necessarily outplaying Dante. He was he
was outplaying Houston.
Yeah, he was outplaying Houston, and then Vancouver was just following up on it better. Like anything that Dante tried was just too late because Stitch just had the jump on him every time that it could have been a point where it mattered.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't hurt that you have guys like Twilight playing Anna.
Yeah, oh my god.
That dude's
Twilight's Anna.
Yeah, Twilight's Anna. Playing behind you. Like, his anti-nades and stuff, man, are just sick.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
But that's all we really need to talk about that one. I mean, it was kind of a slaughter. I didn't think it was going to be a slaughter, so I was kind of surprised at that, actually.
Yeah, I did. I fully expected it, honestly.
Hey, I was giving Houston fans some hope that I wasn't trolling them all the time, but
Yeah, I wasn't.
But let's get back to the biggest trolling in that match and of the whole thing. This is a shout out to Ramses from Push the Point and OWL by the Numbers, the fantasy podcast. So he just happened to be in Burbank, and he trolled one of our other podcaster buds, Ednar from OWL Network.
I think probably the only guy other than us, who goes he probably goes harder against Houston than we do.
Yeah.
And Ramsey's put up a sign that said,
was Ednar Hearts Houston?
Ednar
in freaking green, right behind the desk. So go back to that match, guys. Check it out. That's Ramses from Push the Point. Check it out.
Check it out on.
Check out their podcast too. Their podcast is great.
Screenshots are on Twitter and stuff. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the back and forths that they had were amazing.
Well, because I think I was the first one that saw it. I was just like, "Hey Ed, someone's trolling you on the fucking broadcast."
And replies with that. So good. Just like, well, I just happened to be in Burbank.
Yeah. With his Outlaws jersey on.
Yes.
Um, but,
So good.
but that was a fun part of the action on Thursday. But so
Yeah.
let's move to the other match.
Yeah. So this is how, was the start of Shanghai's improbable run, but
Yeah.
also just like
Another notch in New York's belt.
yeah,
Let's just
another
call it that.
collapse from New York. Like, what is going on with this team? But like, especially now, it's even harder to quantify it because Shanghai played so well in the stage playoffs.
I thought it was going to be a good match anyway. I thought it was going to go 5. But I didn't think New York was just going to fucking hard throw and not play Sabiobi on Sombra.
What the hell was that? Like,
and they look like they always do in the playoffs. They look like they come in with this set mentality, and then when things start to break down, they can't handle it.
Right.
They came in with this plan. Oh, we're gonna freak them out. We're gonna put Nene on fucking. We're gonna put Nene on fucking Sombra. Sure. That's believable in no one's fucking realm of any kind of win scenario.
Exactly.
But
no one was terrified by that.
Yeah.
Because you know what they were scared of? You playing Sabiobi on Sombra, which has been working so well for you, but you don't play him at all. It's so aggravating. I don't understand it.
And yes, exactly. He was slapping. He got the Doomfister out. Youngjin, that's right. Trenchfoot. It was like a bad fucking hentai movie.
I would say all weekend. Youngjin was just absolutely destroying people.
Yeah, before we started, I was telling Kel, I'm like, I want to go in the replay thing and see how the hell he's managing his cooldowns, because it didn't seem like he ever didn't have an escape.
Yeah.
He always had something to get out, which is fantastic. I mean, obviously he's a pro playing Doomfist and playing it like godlike. But the other thing that bothered me about New York in this was they refused to get off the fucking goats.
Oh my God.
In any form. It's like, dude, it's not fucking working.
Right.
Your plan is shit. You have Libero who could play Farah.
Boggles my mind that they were not trying to at least mirror, because they could mirror well
easily.
But then also they're not doing what they did the entire stage where they went undefeated, mind you.
Yeah.
And they just are like, yeah, whatever.
Well,
fuck it.
And I understand the point where they're doing all right, we need mono in there to mitigate ding on Farah. Sure. But you're just running goats in something that's just that destroys goats.
Yeah.
I mean, they were running Winston goats a lot, and they were trying different things, but it's like, you have guys that can fucking hit scans on the bench that can wipe a whole team in 2 seconds. Maybe put one of them in? Do you have a backup plan?
It was so frustrating to watch this team.
And I was rooting for Shanghai, so it didn't... SBB was too smart for them. What, did fucking Moon go coach? Is he a coach in New York now?
Yeah, right.
But
God.
That being said, all the New York, I'm not whining, but like all the complaining about what New York did aside, fucking Shanghai came out and just owned, because they have the 2 best DPS players in the league at this point right now. Well, it's really hard to compare.
Yeah, but with what Ding and DM did this entire weekend in this game specifically, like they just. It was unreal, because it's not just those two either. We were already talking about Youngjin, what he was doing on Roadhog, what he was doing on Doomfist. He just, every move he was making was just clutch. Even like in moments where he died, like he was getting them
something.
He was forcing the other team out of position to kill him.
Yeah.
And then the rest of his team could come in and clean up. That happened a few times today specifically, but we'll get more into that later. But he was unreal. And
Gamsu, honestly, you forget how good he was last year, and his wrecking ball.
Yeah,
I might say better. He's better than the Yoda Chad, close to it.
Honestly, the most impressive thing that this whole weekend showed us with Shanghai is they took the Hunters meta and perfected it. And we're better at it than the Hunters ever were.
And
'Cause,
Ameng's A+ on there. Gamsu's in the same category. See, but the thing is the one thing that I always was worried about, and we've talked about this, is on Chengdu. Jinmu is a good Pharah. Ding is an insane Pharah.
Yeah, Ding is
He's
God
out of his
tier
mind. What was
Pharah.
I sent you the stats yesterday from that match against the Titans the next day. But
Yeah, he had like 48,000 damage, and this was even before the last map.
yeah.
It was absurd.
Yeah, I mean they set up a lot of kills, but that's how a team plays. I mean,
Yeah.
so, you shouldn't have to make the stipulation, and on when you're playing Pharah, well, they're EMPing and then he's barraging into Pharah. That's like saying, well, you're grabbing and then they're throwing the bomb in. You know what I mean? Well, it's a combo. Right. Yes, it works.
It does. I agree with Trenchfoot there. A Ding versus Jinmu, Pharah 1v1. Yes, please make it happen.
No mercy.
No mercy. Yeah.
Not no mercy, as in like no mercy. No one playing mercy. No Pharah mercy.
Yeah.
Or we could do that too, just to.
I mean, if they want to, it's just gonna be.
Let's do that on day 1. And on day 2, they can have Alming versus Gamsu on Wrecking Ball.
Yeah. I can't remember who said it, but I saw it on Twitter somewhere that with everything that Gamsu brings to the table, like he has just elevated this team to another level because of his positivity and just
he seems calm too.
Yeah, his calmness, just everything that he brings to this team and to the game in general, and I guess he's always been that way.
Yeah.
And it's really looking like they mentioned that it's really looking like he will most likely get the Dennis Linko award.
Yeah,
I would back that. The Man of the Year, the Walter Payton Man of the Year equivalent.
Yeah, the Mickey won it last year for Dallas.
Yeah, the one that Mickey won.
Yeah. I could see that. He is. I liked him last year. He seemed like on that team, they weren't as wonky as some of the other teams, and this team doesn't seem that way either. But I always thought he was like just a calming influence, like on the whole thing.
Absolutely,
like,
and
even
that
today,
honestly, I feel like it probably showed up the most today.
Yeah, when it got a little hairy towards the end there, I think he kind of got them together. Not like huddled up together. He just kind of, all right.
He was just like, all right, guys,
calm down. We got this. We've been owning them all day. Let's end this. I want to go home.
Right. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to Friday.
Yeah.
And this is where we had, honestly, probably one of the better matches of the week on the second game. But the first game was Seoul versus San Francisco.
Yep, I got that one wrong.
Seoul didn't look terrible.
It's just San Francisco looked that good.
Just San Francisco looked great. I think their little like variation on GOATs of having Rascal playing
Baptiste
is
stupid.
Like they really showed just how powerful that comp can be.
Oh yeah.
But it's just not quite enough, which was proven today. But against Seoul, it was very much the case.
Well, the thing is Seoul had their moments where they weren't following up on a lot of stuff, like on key ultimates and stuff like that. There would be times when Fleta would get there was one time I think he got like a 4K, but there was no follow up to anything else. It was just, or it was too late. They were just like timing wise they were off. And Rascal on Stupid Baptiste is unreal. And how genius is that to put like one of your best DPS players on that? Because I mean, he goes far as fits, man. Even like today, he was knocking ding out of this guy every once in a while. But I think that was really screwing them up a lot.
Yeah.
And it's I like it in certain situations. It's better than the Brig, by far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting that invincibility field, like there's just so many moments where that is absolutely clutch, and he is.
I think he's an unbelievable ult tracker too, so that also helps with the invincibility field.
That, and then they combine, like they really get good usage out of his alt.
Yeah.
Just everything that they do, just they're really really good at following up and using Baptiste Kit to maximize everything that he can bring.
Yeah.
And Rascal is just a phenomenal Baptiste player.
Yeah, I think, honestly, you do like these things like comeback player of the year. I would hands down give it to Rascal.
100%. A guy that bounced around to 4 different teams last season, and
including contenders.
Yeah, and then comes back and contributes at such a high level to this team. Like I can't even think of anybody that comes close.
And that was one of those ones where you're like, Rascal? Why do you need Rascal?
Yeah. Like everyone, we even had that discussion of like looking at all the players that they were picking up, especially after they picked up Stryker and all these other guys, and you're just like, why did they pick up Rascal? That just seems weird, but
yeah,
I think we know now why.
Well, yeah, because for the last 3 stages, he's pretty much proved why he's there. I think he's proved why he's starting. I mean, they did some work though on Soul. Soul didn't look bad, but I was kind of disappointed.
But they just got outmatched.
Yeah, they did. And Sinatra actually has been looking better on Sombra.
Yeah, and he is getting better at Sombra, and they definitely need to focus more on that. Maybe we'll see how it all shakes out.
See what happens on Thursday night.
Even though that switch will most likely be coming, honestly, I still see Sombra being very viable.
Mm-hmm. Unless you get into a spread out divey kind of thing.
Yeah.
If they're running, because EMP doesn't matter if everybody's all over the fucking map.
True. Like
when you're running that, that's why sometimes it's hard with the ball far mercy. That because there's people everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great against goats and it's great against bunker comp because everybody's bunched up and you can hit 6 people or 5 people with an EMP pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, even then, you can if you get an EMP on a pharmacy.
Yeah,
that shuts them down.
And it's really
time it right.
It's really going to be used on the back line kind of thing because if you're getting into certain situations where you're going to be running dive.
Yeah.
Which they're going to run dive. Anyone that tells me that they're not going to run dive, you're out of your fucking mind. Yeah, they're going to run other stuff. They're going to run... Because you can't run that ball triple DPS stuff anymore.
No, you can't.
So, I mean, you're going to run ball diva or ball Winston if you want to do that at all. Someone will come up with something like that. It's going to be some variation of dive.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the second game of the night, which was... Other than today's game, I would say it's match of the week.
Every time these two teams have played, the game has been fucking stupid, epic, back and forth stuff, man.
So Valiant playing Hangzhou,
which thank God it was good too, because the rest of them were just kind of meh up to this point.
Yeah, everything up to this point was just kind of like, right. It was either what you expected or it was just like kind of a stomp either way.
Yeah.
But this one was just a lot of back and forth and just the Valiant just clutching out.
Yeah, the Valiant clutched that out. I watched the end of that. They're becoming a really, really good clutch team.
They really are.
Hangzhou, though, I thought they were going to win, but I knew it was going to be close, and it got all the way down to the end of that. What was it, Ilios?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was on Ilios, and I don't like them on Ilios. I like the way the Valiant play on Ilios better than they have.
I would agree with that.
I think Agility's got to play some stuff that you're like, oh yeah, I forgot he was a DPS player. Oh yeah, he could play Pharah. That's what helped him out a lot last year. But
Agility, I mean, we've always talked about how underrated Agility's is.
Yeah, especially last year, we were like, he was like, I used to call him the poor man's libero.
Yeah.
The guy who can do all this stuff, but he never got any attention for it. Exactly. Because he was on a team that was kind of in the, floating around good and bad and going up and down. But this I can't wait for this to be like the way these two teams play, like their styles. Hopefully, this 2-2-2 lock thing will bring more of this kind of thing in there.
Yes.
Where you're getting. I'm a fan of the switching up per circumstance, per map, and all that. I don't like this when people get it in their fucking heads that the only thing that's going to work is X.
Yeah.
Because we've seen, and Hangzhou's pretty good at it too, and we saw it some today. People are neutralizing Sombra a little bit more, and they're figuring out what to do when you get EMP'd. And don't stand in front of somebody, if you can avoid it. But getting, being able to switch in and out from different comps. I'm just liking it so much more. It's and this match was one of the ones where it's like, okay, they ran some goats, they ran some weird DPS shit. You got Pharah play, you got a little bit, not too much on the Widowmaker stuff, but you got just teams clutching maps like all over the place. I just like watching these teams play. And then the last time they played, it was the same thing, 2 weeks ago.
So looking at Trenchfoot's comment of they just play so well, and so the Valiant show how important team culture is. None of their players would probably make a top 3 or even top 5 list at their positions, but they're playing so well together right now. I agree with that. The one exception I would say is Kareev.
Yeah.
Kareev is 100% at least a top 5 Ana.
Yeah. I would
honestly. I'd probably put him top 3 at least at Ana. Maybe not as his Zen, but his Ana for sure
is insane,
and that elevates him as a flex support above other people just because his Ana is so strong. But that's about the only person, and other than that, I fully agree with that statement.
They know how to play with each other.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because they got the big brain guy back in.
Yep, they got that guy in. Well, that and then also it's amazing how much of a difference it's been for them ever since they brought in Fact Fiction. Yeah,
Fact Fiction and Shax.
Yeah.
And Shax had a clutch play on D.Va.
Yeah, he did.
Eight a Grav. What was it on? It was on one of the last map. I think it might have been the last map on Ilios. He ate a Grav.
Yeah.
For someone that is not known for their fucking D.Va play. But yeah, Fact Fiction was, and I said this. The Mayhem could have had Fact Fiction, Shax, McGravy on their team. But, hey, it's working out for the Valiant. The Valiant knew that those guys were good. The Mayhem just didn't want to go in that direction, apparently.
That's the Mayhem for you.
I think they're moving in a different direction. We'll talk more about that next week.
Yeah, for sure.
This is not the Mayhem's. We're not talking about that team right now because they didn't play. I have nothing to lose my mind about. It was New York that made my mind hurt this week. But yeah, so the Valiant managed to clutch that one out. Now let's move to Saturday. The games were on, for the Asian audience, not anyone on the East Coast of America or Europe, for that matter. I am going to bitch about that again, starting at 10 o'clock. I mean, I fell asleep one map into the Valiant match, the Valiant Shock match. But Shanghai takes on Vancouver. Everyone's like, well, it was fun. Shanghai got a win in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. We're going to... Oh, no. The story's not over.
Oh, no.
Wow, did they show up for that one, too.
Shanghai, honestly, they just took a giant shit right on Vancouver, and Vancouver had no answer for it at all.
No. And they were trying. And it's not like they weren't trying and they weren't playing. They were trying to counter them. And Shanghai was just having none of it, man.
No.
And once again, Ding and Diem just went nuts. And Coma and Luffy did their thing. Coma fucking... He did at least he wasn't going out on a limb with some of those fucking reses he did against New York. Probably because he figured New York didn't give a fuck because they were just they play so defensive when they're in the playoffs that no one would have shot at him anyway.
No kidding. Well, I think also what really showed in this game is just how strong Shanghai's defenses are.
Yeah,
like
you don't think that's
ability to hold is unreal.
Well, it helps. Gamsu's really good at Arisa.
Mm-hmm.
No, Trenchfoot, the best thing about that bumper at the end of that match, fucking Brent said it best. When he was sitting at the chair, he looks like the dog in that fucking meme. This is fine. This is fine.
He really did.
He just had that look of, wait, the match is over?
Wait. What do you mean? Like, why is there all this red around me? Shouldn't it be green and blue? Like,
they just won the map. They didn't win the match. Oh shit, they won the match. Oh,
what's going on? Did we lose? What? How did this happen? Yeah, it just complete befuddlement. It was amazing.
He was like, that really happened. Yeah, it's best of 9. It's not Apex.
Right. Oh, God.
They would have lost 8 matches in that if it was the best of 9.
Yeah.
That made it, well, they would have lost 7, but you know what I mean. It would have been 7-1. But yeah, the Dragons just could, the way they play that, they even played on defense too. That's the thing, like the Farah Widowmaker. That's hard to run into though. Even if you are running goats or some variation of that, that's hard to break because you have Gamsu and Youngjin just murdering people with the halt hooks, and then you have the Farah Ding playing Farah and Diem on. There is nowhere to run from that,
right?
Especially on
wherever, those... like just the way that that Ding is like pushing people to where Diem is really impressive. Like he just like if he's not hitting shots, he is forcing them to go and either fight Youngjin or Diem or Gamsu. Like it's just he's so good at controlling where they are by placing his rockets. It's really incredible.
Yeah, it's like it's the managing space, not necessarily taking space. Like managing where everybody's going to go. Right. It's like he kind of knows. It's like he knows where everybody's cooldowns are too. Like other than like Diem, you know, he knows when the halt's going to be available. It's like all of a sudden like he would be up there. He one rocket somebody because you get that little bit of a stun kind of kick, and then you know they're getting halted, and then Youngjin murders them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, they are so good at some of that stuff. But just some of the other stuff when they run in defense too. Sometimes they don't do conventional stuff, but when you have those two guys dictating where you can go with the Farah, and you're cutting off essentially two points where you can try and attack, especially like on a summit like Paris or like even like on Horizon or something like that. You're cutting off so many different angles or ways to go in that there's a point where you're just like, all right, we're gonna have to like use all of our ults just to get to the point,
right?
You know, or we're gonna have to counter them or something like that. And I will say this though, Shanghai was fortunate that they ran into some teams that have guys that aren't known for Widow play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very true. But even then, today
they did, but the one team doesn't sub anybody out. I'm not counting New York.
Yeah. Well, the one today when they're just like, okay, we're gonna do what was it? Which match was that? It was
Dorada?
Ilios.
Oh, Ilios. When they tried to counter him with all the DPS players.
Yeah, and they were running Farah with Diem on Widow.
Yeah.
My God, like no one could touch him, because then it was just like you're fighting against Widow and Farah. Yeah,
that's the thing. And San Francisco tried to counter today, and that didn't really work. But see, it was just a minor point that like it wasn't like, I mean, they beat Philadelphia, but like with Carpe, who's a god Widowmaker, and they did it. You know, they went toe to toe, and DM won. But what I'm saying, there was no one to kind of occupy his attention.
Yeah,
that was a threat. Like Sinatra tried it today. He's not known for fucking Widowmaker play. Let's just
No. He's not that. That's not his. That's just not his skill set.
yeah, and it's not like I don't know who's the best Widow on Vancouver because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Probably Bumper.
Right.
But
I imagine it's no, it wouldn't be Haxel. I would imagine it's probably Siomen Sue.
Siomen Sue or Stitch.
Yeah.
I think Stitch busted it out. Tried to bust it out, and going against DM though is impossible.
Yeah, DM's a god.
They just the way they controlled the way they, especially against, it was different today, but especially against Vancouver, the way they were controlling space with those two guys, it basically just making it kind of theirs. Like you can contest it, you're gonna die, but you know,
try.
come on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they didn't really run into any. I didn't feel that they were going to lose. Once I watched the first map,
yeah,
I was kind of like, yeah, this is not going to go good for Vancouver.
No.
And actually Vancouver looked. I don't want to say defeated. They looked concerned about what was happening to them. It was like, oh, this is real.
Yeah, like what's happening? Where is this coming from?
Yeah.
So then the last match of Saturday night was
that was a bloodbath.
Valiant getting absolutely demolished by San Francisco. As good as the Valiant have played up to this point in this stage, and like we had really high hopes for them, San Francisco just schooled them.
Well, yeah, and you know what? This also falls into what Houston's. I didn't think the Valiant would be here. Yeah. So for them making it to this point. Good for them. And, you know, they showed that they can... And we talked about them, you know, how they play as a team and all that. They just ran into San Francisco. And believe me, San Francisco heard enough of everybody saying that the Valiant were going to beat them.
Yeah.
Those guys on that team don't like that shit. You know?
They really don't.
Which is fine. I like that. I like the cocky.
Yeah.
I like some of that.
I very much appreciate the mentality of the more shit you talk about them, the better they play.
Yeah.
I'm fully behind that, but
yeah.
I guess not enough shit was talked about their chances against Shanghai.
Yeah, well, they knew. See, but going into that, you knew everyone's going to root for Shanghai.
Yeah, for sure.
And no one said Shanghai was going to demolish them. Yeah, people on the desk and like people were saying, oh, like today, like with, oh well, the Valiant are way better than the Shock. I'm like. I said the Soul was better than the Shock, so I'm one of the people that downplayed the Shock. But they get in that mentality where it's like the Patriots used to get, like in the early 2000s, the us against the world thing, where nobody wants us here, so fine, let's fuck their plans up.
Exactly.
Which plus, they also like fucking with the California Cup and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're like they want to be the kings, so they had to beat the Valiant again. And plus, it just tilts everybody in the fucking room there.
It does,
because you know the Valiant fans, you know they're all there because it's like a home game. So
right.
And there wasn't much. And speaking of that, there wasn't much San Francisco presence. I always find that weird.
Yeah, it is weird that.
I mean, I know they're really NorCal, and that's like someone from Cleveland saying something nice about someone from Columbus or Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. No. Or one of the teams from there.
Well, especially when we're talking about Cincinnati, you may as well be Kentucky, but that's beside the point.
Well, yeah.
So I get it.
Everything is in Kentucky except for the city, so.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, the baseball stadium, literally the parking lot, the edge of it's on the river. That's the Kentucky border, so.
Right.
But anyway,
their garbage football team.
So, it's starting back up.
Yes.
Cannot wait.
Soon.
Joe Flacco.
They just the Valiant just got destroyed. So let's dive in to
today
match of the week. Probably one of the best matches we've seen.
Since the last time the Valiant played since the Valiant and the Hangzhou matches the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Other than
honestly,
that,
I would put this up in a tier of this has been probably the best stage finals. All three of them so far
Yeah.
have just keep topping each other.
Well, yeah.
And this one is no exception.
And it's San Francisco is involved in all of them.
Yeah.
So
Shanghai looked like they were absolutely dominating the first three maps.
Oh God, that was scary. I was like, this is going to be over at 5:00.
Like it looked like, I mean, there was points where like Ding was just unkillable, and San Francisco wasn't doing anything to stop him.
I felt, yeah, at the beginning of that match, I felt like I was watching the New York match again. Not to mention the attempt. I will give that a valid attempt at trying to do something on control. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. And I heard one of the it was either, I think it might have been Wolf said that it seems like that Smurf might have been working on Orisa for the whole stage.
Yeah.
So you got like a kind of your Orisa one trick ish, because Super's okay on Orisa. He's not great. He's not bad by any stretch. You had him come in, and then you had your fire specialist and architect, your hit scan guy, and striker come in to try and neutralize it on Oasis. That didn't work. It wasn't terrible. I think those guys are a little rusty too. I mean, you gotta throw that out there for some form of something, because they're not playing. They've run the same lineup like every fucking week for
and then all of a sudden, just like
21 games.
This lineup in the final.
Right. I mean, what did Stryker play? One map in the first stage? Same thing with Architect played like the first two games, then they put Rascal in. So,
yeah, it was an interesting choice. Yep. Definitely didn't work out for them.
No.
But then even when they put in their regular lineup in map 2, they still just they looked lost almost.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to put this out there a little bit. I think they were a little tired at the beginning of that match.
Yeah.
Because that was it ended here like what time did it end here? It started at 12:30?
Yeah, it ended here about 1:30 last night.
1:30, quarter to 2.
Yeah.
So that's 11 midnight, and you just played a match. You're not going to go to fucking bed right away. And then they turned around and they had to be back there at 11 in the morning. Dude, they're gamers. What the fuck are you doing to these people?
Right.
Lucky you get them out of bed before then.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I think they were a little tired, and they were a little kind of just... I mean, they did roll the Valiant and all that stuff, but still, you had to get up and prepare and do all the stuff, and then, so I think they were a little rusty to start, or off, maybe a little tired, whatever you want to call it. But
for sure. But even still, like, they definitely came back, and they came back strong, and it really started to look worrisome for Shanghai.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially with the hold that San Francisco had on Havana.
Yeah, and the way they rolled through Havana most of the way.
They really did. It was like, oh.
And it was...
Yikes.
And it was, honestly, it was when they started doing... and they were running a little bit... Choi Hyobin on fucking Roadhog is psychotic, man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Him and Super were doing a really good job with the halt hook thing, and running Rascal on Farah to kind of keep Ding occupied. I think they picked their poison at that point, and they're like, all right, we got to do something about him. So they kind of mirrored them, and I thought it worked. It worked really well, and Sinatra's Sombra play was really, really good. He's picked up so much. Like, I mean, it comes with playing a lot. They were just running straight goats until it was like, well, we can't do this anymore, can we? So they came out in Havana, and I was like, ooh, this is not looking good, Shanghai.
Yeah.
But they managed to kind of figure out what San Francisco was doing to them, I think, a little bit. Because Eichenwald was frightening too.
It was.
There were points on there. I'm like, do not go near Choi Hyobin. Like, he was pulling like fucking the Farah and the Mercy out of the air like it was like nothing.
Right.
I'm like,
Oh
I
God.
did that once. Or I've done it. I might have done it twice. One time I did it and I freaked out because I got someone and I forgot to fucking shoot him. The other time I did the classic. I forgot to
Oh, I
reload.
forgot to reload. Yep, I've done. I feel like that's every time I get a good hook. I'm like,
Yeah,
yep,
I feel like you feel like punching the monitor.
yeah. Like,
But
can I hurt myself in some way right now?
yeah,
Can I just shoot myself in this game for being such an idiot?
yeah, and we also got to bring up a little bit too with Sinatra. We said he had a good summer, and he busted out the Reaper all weekend, which I was like, this is why are you? And I'm like, oh, okay, you're doing some business with him.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It worked for the most part.
It's as good as Reaper's gonna work.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of slowed him down. It didn't stop them at any point where it was just like. I think it's a better stall tactic than sometimes just like throwing Wrecking Ball out there or like, double blinking onto a point with Tracer or
Yeah.
he can at least do some damage if you're trying to slow them down, eat their time bank up a little bit.
Well, basically, his presence forces the other team to nuke him down.
Yeah, and the best thing that I saw them doing to that, and I'm a dumb fuck and I forgot to think about it, was just anti-nade him because if he shoots you, he can't heal.
Right. But then it goes if he ghosts away, it does go away.
It does clear it, but
yeah.
By that point, everybody knows he's there, and
right.
But yeah, I thought that was that surprised me. It surprised me that he picked him, and then he picked him a couple times because it was working.
Yeah, it worked for the most part. Yeah. Honestly, their hold on this the first part of Eichenwald, when they had to go back for another. That was the last most round. Impressive part of that. Yeah. But honestly, what really did it was, I mean, Shanghai on Dorado, their hold against San Francisco, as soon as they held them to that second point, you just knew it was over.
Yeah, because it took them too long, and then DM was basically dictating who could come out of the spawn.
Yeah.
And it was just picking people off, and they couldn't get anywhere near them. Like, Sinatra couldn't get near him enough to EMP. Yeah. Because the minute he would blink out, he would get shot.
Yep. And they were just doing a really good job of picking him out of there.
Or not blink, whatever, out of the shadow thing, whatever is becomes visible again.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with all this. Blink out. Oh, that would be Tracer. Anyway, yeah, DM, Ding too. Like they just dictated everything on that last map.
They really did.
And
they did an excellent job, and to really come through in the clutch, it's amazing to see the growth of this team. For them to have even starting off the way that they did, disregarding everything that happened last year and just looking at this season, they didn't look all that strong, and they just continued to get better and better and better. And honestly, I think they're going to continue that.
Yeah,
with how they've been playing. I feel like they're only going to get better with 2-2-2 potential changes.
Yeah. Because like we said, you still have Envy if you want to run a dive situation with the Diva. Mm-hmm. Or you can run Gagori or however you want. You have at least decent enough 2-2-2 people,
right?
And if you run 2-2-2, maybe you can run that Rhine Zarya with Gagori on Zarya. You run Envy on Diva, or his Roadhog is okay. But you just put Youngjin in on if you're running that bunker comp.
Yeah.
I mean, people know that's going to come on certain maps anyway. It's like, people well, they don't want to telegraph who they're putting in when they're running goats. Everyone knows you're running fucking goats.
Yeah.
That'd be like last year saying, well, we didn't want to know, that Prophet was playing Tracer when we were running dive.
That Sabiovia was going to play on Tracer.
Yeah.
pretty sure we knew that every time.
Yeah,
Or that Libero was going to play either Genji or Farah.
Yeah, or whatever else they needed, or
yeah.
But I'm just glad that they won, because I was getting nervous there, because San Francisco was getting the swag back too. They were just
they were.
I was like, but San Francisco did do a good job of like regrouping, coming back out, and they ran some good things that showed how to counter that. Mm-hmm. And by no stretch is San Francisco going to be out of any kind of contention for anything. I mean,
oh, never.
I mean, as far as like they're not going to drop off with a 2-2-2 lock when that's inevitable. They looked terrible in the first 3 maps, and then they turned it around. I don't. Maybe they didn't look terrible. They got outclassed in the first 3 maps of the game. That's for sure.
Right. Absolutely.
And I do think they were a little tired, and I think they got a little bit. It was like, whoa, okay, this is how this works. We beat Chengdu. Chengdu's not that accurate with the rockets. Funny thing. And these guys on Shanghai too. They were saying, like, I guess they choked a couple times at Kangdu Panthera. So it's kind of nice to see, like, because there was one point where they were showing Coma. I thought he was like actually gonna like slip into one. He was so tense, and it was like, I think like that's when you had like the guy like Amsu, who's kind of like the level-headed dude, not gonna lose his mind kind of thing, and he just comes out and he just calms him down, and they played really well. And you know what, I wanted them to do well. I didn't think they were gonna do this though. I mean, it's not like it's a huge upset, but they beat the 3 best teams in the league, allegedly, with the first one they beat.
For sure.
I don't care. It's just how it is. I will meme them.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe,
so I think that's.
One last thing. Maybe Houston will have a shot next time if they get matched up against New York next year.
Oh man.
How's that? I got them all in on one fucking thing.
There you go. Oh man. So expect a show this week. Well, we're definitely going to have our roundtables. We have roundtables going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Watch out for the times and the announcements and who's going to be on those between our Twitter and Totemly Drunk, because he's the mastermind behind all the organization of those. So keep an eye out for that. But we will most likely do some kind of discussion after the our little, or whatever their little watch point show on Thursday will be. We will be discussing some of that stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of that stuff. It's looking like there's, like we said, there's going to be 3, so we'll be on 2 of them.
Yeah.
And just pay attention to like all the. Oh yeah, definitely Trenchfoot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they definitely are pulling for San Francisco to do the reverse sweep, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because people would forget about that. Just like people forgot about Nene's shit grab. Or yeet grab, whatever. Actually, I was one of the few people that's like, after I watched it, I'm like, all right, I get what he was doing. And he barely missed it, but anyway. So yeah, back to the whatever they are, roundtables. We're gonna do them. They're gonna be with like the guys that we've done them with before. You know all of them. We're probably gonna have Blazing Bob, Totally Drunk, guys from Mayhem, Maniacs, and just like all the other bird watchers will probably be on there too. Push the point with Labosco and Ramses, which, honestly, I hope to God they guys, if you're watching this, please put Ed and Ramses on the same goddamn thing. Yes, I want this to continue.
Please make that a thing.
Yes. I'll get the popcorn. I'm just going to sit there and just watch that. Ed's got to step it up now. He's going to have to meme. He's going to have to figure out a way. Anyway, so that's going to do it, guys. My dog is absolutely going insane. I apologize for that. It's his 9 o'clock. I'm going to lose my fucking mind time, apparently. Slept all day long. He's literally banging on the door and running around, so that means I got I'm gonna have to do something. So if you guys anyway, so you've learned a lot about my home life. I am dealing with rodents and a crazy dog right now. So there you go. So that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys are watching on YouTube, thanks a lot. Please hit a like, hit a subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below. Talk about the stuff. I like talking to you guys about it. Cal does too. We like getting into these conversations. Keep it up. Thanks a lot, Trenchfoot, for joining us tonight, and everyone that's been joining us on Twitch. Thanks a lot. Anyone that has been picking us up on the different podcast catcher things, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, etc. Thank you very much. Please give us a review. It would, we would appreciate it a lot. It would help us out immensely. Tell us what we need to do, and what we're doing good, what we're doing bad, that kind of thing. Constructively. We do have the one trash bags with trash takes comment, so we got that.
Yeah.
But other than that, so Jake LOL. Imagine why he's doing that. I don't know.
I can only wonder why.
Stay hard, Jake, if you're listening. Hashtag stay hard. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll talk to you later.
Have a good one, guys. Later.